Friends, many years of work by Ekta Parishad is bringing in many interesting stories. So this morning I have received a story and I thought I should share it with you. And this is a story coming from Chindwar village. And Chindwar village is in Chhattisgarh. There are 47 families, and these families are Baiga families. You know, when we speak about Adivasi, we say Adivasis and primitive tribes or primitive Adivasis, people who are still further into the forest. So Baigas are supposed to be among the primitive tribes. And this is in Korba district of Chhattisgarh. So Korba district of Chhattisgarh, Baiga Adivasi, 47 families, and a village called Chindwar. That is where the story is being played. So this is the usual story that Adivasis generally live in fear because there are so many laws by forest department and other departments, and they really can't comprehend any one of this. What is police department wanting to do, what is forest department wanting to do. So they are caught in between these many departments. So they live in fear. And they are victims of many laws and many rules, So the freedom that they used to enjoy once upon a time is lost. They can't move the way they want to move. They can't hunt. They can't get into the forest the way they want to get into. So their freedom was getting curtailed. And that was the time when 2014, after our long march of 2012, 1 lakh people, 100,000 people marching to Delhi, Gandhi Ashram, an organization based in Chambal region, and Ekta Parishad moved into this village, Chindwar. Right? And they said, this is an interesting place where some work need to be done. And they slowly started building the organization of the local people. These 47 families came together. They moved out of fear. They got some leadership qualities. They started arguing and discussing with the government officials. And they had a kind of a sometimes struggle, sometimes dialogue. So they went on for quite some time. And in order to strengthen this work, they also created village fund, which they call Gram Kosh, Dhan Kosh, which is the collection of grain. So they have a grain bank, they have a money bank. So they started organizing themselves. Imagine 47 families that were suffering for very long, suddenly got a new wave of enthusiasm, and they got organized. And this attracted a lot of solidarity from others. Oh, here is one group standing up for their own rights. So that is how the village got organized. And they also did something interesting, under the Forest Rights Act, there is a forest committee in every village. And this forest committee is sometimes dominated by people who don't really care for the poor people. So these people in Chindwar village got the forest committee reorganized, and they made their claims. They started sending applications about their claim on their land. This is a land that I'm cultivating since before 2005, so give me the land according to the law. So their applications went, and they also said the land should be given in the name of women. Look at that, very progressive positioning, that in a country where men are holding land, suddenly these Adivasi women are demanding land in their name. So what happened? With all that claims and reorganizing committees, they finally got land for 38 families. Out of 42, out of 47, 38 families got land. And others are still demanding their land, and I'm sure that they are also going to get land. So imagine a position of landlessness to being farmers. This transfer has happened to 38 families already, and others are waiting, and I'm sure this is going to happen. But the story doesn't end there, friends. When they got land, they know they need water. See, how do you cultivate the land unless you can irrigate the land? So that is when they decided to make a check dam. There is a stream flowing through their village, so they decided to make a check dam. And unfortunately, all their work, they worked so hard, day and night, to construct that check dam. But the rain was so heavy in that year, and the check dam gave in. So they lost the dam, so they couldn't irrigate their land during the first year. But they didn't give up. Next year again, they got together, worked hard. This is what you call Shamdan, the contribution of labor. Everybody worked very hard and reconstructed the check dam, and this was a great success. So you have land, you have enough water to irrigate, and you see, when people are together, then the politicians come in. When people are suffering, the politicians don't come. When they are powerful, the politicians come. So what happened? The political leader came, and they got some of the success. One, they got 4 acres of land as common land, which they hold for grazing and common purposes. They started cultivating cultivating fish in the tank, and they also strengthened their grain bank and also their money bank. So once they got organized, they benefited from many other activities, and inputs came from government and political leadership. And they also did something very interesting. They said, we want to have a common place for our meeting. Generally they meet in one house somewhere, but then common place, and they called it Gandhi Kuti. They suddenly understood this is what Mahatma Gandhi wanted. Village should be organized, village should become self-sufficient, self-governed, and here it is happening in our village. So this is Mahatma Gandhi's idea. So they call this new house where they meet Gandhi Kuti, in the name of Gandhi. That is a very interesting thing. So what I want to tell you today is, this is an interesting case study of Chindwar village of Korba district in Chhattisgarh, where a very ordinary community got organized and transformed their life. And they are moving in different directions. If Chindwar village can do it, others can also do it. The moral of the story is that this is not a big thing. This is not rocket science. People coming together, acting together, and through a process of dialogue and struggle and constructive work, you transform your life. So here is a beautiful story, and I thought, when I got this story in my hand, I thought this is something worth sharing with the world at large. So I came to you. Thank you very much. I will come back to you with some other story later on. Thank you. Jai Jagat.